NFL fans, welcome back to a brand new episode of the J All Day Sports Show. It's week 14 and we're going to get into predictions with scores for all of these games. I also got a very special guest for you guys, so make sure you stick around. Guys, we are just absolutely crushing our picks, man. I continue to say I am one of the best, if not the best, picker of games on YouTube. It's not even close. We went 12-4 again last week, 55-17 over the last 5 weeks, guys. We're absolutely crushing it. For the year, 131-65. We continue to dominate. Let's get into these week 14 predictions with scores. NFL fans, we are back. My dad is in from Philly. Tom Burt, say hello to the fans out there.
Hello, everybody. I hope everything is nice and good for the holidays for you. Enjoy.
All right, guys, we got a loaded schedule for you guys, and it kicks off with the Thursday night game, Green Bay Packers at the Detroit Lions. The Lions are dealing with a lot of injuries, man, a ton of injuries. And last week, the Green Bay Packers on Thanksgiving looked pretty good versus the Miami Dolphins. Jordan Love probably played his best game, right? So, what are your initial thoughts? You going with the Green Bay Packers or the banged up Detroit Lions at home? Pretty good at home.
They're pretty good, but like you said, they're pretty banged up. I think the Packers squeak by on this one.
Yeah, it's going to be a really, really close game. The Packers have been playing good, but Jared Goff, in my opinion, is one of the best dome quarterbacks in the NFL. He's not so good on the road, right? But I think the Lions got this, man. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Montgomery, I think they can get it done. The Packers have been playing great. The only thing that concerns me about the Packers is Jair Alexander. He's that all-pro cornerback. He's going to be questionable for this game. So, what do you think about the spread? 3.5? You going to take the Packers in the points?
I'd take the Packers in the points.
All right, guys. So, for this game, straight up, I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions to win this game. We'll see who's right, me or Father Time over here. Father Time.
Yeah, you notice a little gray hair.
All right, so I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions in a close game, 27-24. All right, let's move on to the next game. Our Philadelphia Eagles!
Let's go, Birds!
Big win last week over the Ravens. Saquon Barkley took over another game. He's pretty unbelievable, right?
Oh, he's amazing. It's such a strong power running back. It's amazing how powerful he is, and he just pounds it and pounds it.
And he's really agile. He's elusive. He puts the pain on these D-backs trying to tackle him, right? The spread's pretty huge at 12 points, right? And the Carolina Panthers have looked pretty good. They just missed beating Tampa Bay last week. They've looked a lot better, right?
Yeah, they're playing close ball, but they just can't turn the tide.
Yeah, for sure. Bryce Young has looked a lot better since that benching earlier in the year. He's come back, looked pretty good. This Eagles defense has been unbelievable, and if they can shut down Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, what do you think is going to happen to Carolina?
Big blowout, Birds.
Yeah, I'm leaning in that direction too. I'm going to say 30-17. The Philadelphia Eagles get the job done in Week 14. All right, guys, the next game, a division game, the Jets versus the Dolphins. What are your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers and this Jets team?
I think Rodgers, it's time for him to go to pasture.
Yeah, I agree. I think Aaron Rodgers, he's just not the same guy, right?
No, he's not. He said he wants to still play, and he's going to probably play for somebody else next year. I don't know who, but I like the Dolphins in this game.
I like the Dolphins too. Aaron Rodgers, the plays they run are very simple. He's not like he was like 5 years ago where he can run outside of the pocket and kind of create down the field. I remember us watching games, and Aaron Rodgers was probably one of your favorite players for years, man. He was unbelievable for a really long time.
He could always find somebody open, running, scurrying around the field and looking for that ball that nobody's expecting.
Yeah, he's just not the same guy. Even like in that last week's game, he just missed some open throws, man. Just guys open. He's just missing throws. He's just not the same guy. I like the Miami Dolphins in the spot. I think the Dolphins are going to score some points against this Jets game. Sauce Gardner is dealing with some hamstring stuff, guys. And Morgan Moses, The right tackle, he's out. Tyron Smith has been banged up as well. I mean, it doesn't look good. And the Miami Dolphins defense has actually been playing pretty good. So I'm going 27-17. I think the Dolphins dominate this game. And they're back in Miami where it's not freezing cold.
Yeah, it was a little cold for him last week.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so we're going with the Dolphins, 27-17. All right, next up, Raiders versus the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers almost blew it against Carolina. They got an overtime victory. Close game, but the Raiders are just so bad.
Both teams are, you don't know what to expect. Each week they come out playing different. And last week, like you said, the Buccaneers, they just squeaked by.
Yeah, they didn't look too good. That defense, Todd Bowles, the head coach of the Buccaneers, is supposed to be this kind of defensive guru. I know they've been dealing with some injuries on the defensive side of the ball. They haven't looked great. Aiden O'Connell the week before, they almost beat the Chiefs if it wasn't for that botched snap. So they've been playing a little bit better like the last since Aiden O'Connell has taken over. Spread-wise, I'm probably going with the Raiders and the points. But straight up, this is do or die for the Buccaneers. If they lose this game, their season's pretty much over, right?
Yeah, I think they're going to come out and play some ball because, like last week, they didn't look too hot.
Yeah, the Panthers have been playing better, so I'm going to go with the Buccaneers in a close game, 23-20 to get the victory.
I don't know if they'll cover the spread, though.
Yeah, I don't think they'll cover the spread either. We're going to go, we'll say 23-20. I think the Buccaneers win outright, though.
Yeah, they win outright.
The spread's kind of high, though, huh?
I thought it was a little high, 7 points. I thought it would be like 5, 4.
Yeah, 4.5, something like that. All right, guys. Now we're going to move on to another great game in the NFC. Atlanta Falcons versus the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings in the first half last week didn't look great, but they still got the W, barely. And the Falcons just looked not good. The Falcons did not look good. They haven't looked good in a few weeks, man. I don't know what's going on. The Falcons have probably the worst pass rush in the NFL. So that's not good going up against Sam Darnold and Justin Jefferson.
Well, you better have some pass rush or you're going to be in trouble. It'll be a long day for you.
Yeah, especially playing the Vikings. Justin Jefferson's a top 3 receiver in the NFL, if not number 1. Sam Darnold has been hit or miss. He does have a lot of turnovers, a lot of interceptions, a lot of fumbles. But the Falcons' defense probably can't capitalize on it. They had 10 sacks going into last week, which is historically bad.
Yeah, it's not good at all. 10 sacks, and then you got a passing team.
I think the Giants have like 38 sacks as a team. That just goes to show you how bad the Falcons' pass rush has been this year. I think they probably cover the spread as well. And I'm going the Vikings. I think the Vikings dominate this game.
I feel the same way. I think the Vikings had a little wake-up call, a little scare last week. I think they come back and win it big.
Yeah, I'm saying 30-20 the Minnesota Vikings, right? And then we got to remember on Thursday night, big division game, Packers and the Lions, right? So one of those teams is going to win. So the Vikings need to keep pace in that division, right? So big game. I'm saying 30-20. Vikings get the dub. All right, next up, we got the Saints and the Giants. The battle of the bums. The bumitude. The absolute stank fest that's going to be this game. The Giants are 0-6. 0-6 at home.
That's pretty bad when you're at home and you can't win a game.
0-6. But the Saints aren't much better. 1-4. 1-4. This is a bad game. No Dexter Lawrence. He's probably going to be done for the year, right? So that pass rush is going to be really bad. I guess we got to go New Orleans, right? The quarterback play is terrible with the Giants. I don't know. I guess it's going to be Drew Lock.
Sometimes their defense really comes on good, though, the Giants.
Yeah, but now that Dexter Lawrence is out, he's everything, man. He leads that team in sacks.
Yeah.
That pass rush is not, I don't know if it can get there. The Saints' offensive line is just mediocre.
I like the... something keeps telling me the Giants.
I'm going to go with the Giants. I think
with
I'm going to...
the points?
Yeah. With the points, maybe +5 is interesting at home. But straight up, I'm going to go with the Saints to win a dump fest, like 17-13. I think the Saints defense is pretty decent, so I think they might keep the Giants in check. And then the Giants' secondary is really bad. And now no Dexter Lawrence. That means they're going to be even worse, right? So the Saints, actually, I'm going to go a little bit higher. I'm going to go 20-13. The Saints get a road victory, right?
Yeah, that's about probably right.
Yeah, sound about right. All right, guys. This is going to be one of the most fun games of the week. Cleveland Browns, Pittsburgh Steelers. The Browns a few weeks ago upset the Steelers in Cleveland. Now we're in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh scored a crap ton of points last week. I couldn't believe. What did they put up? 44 points last week?
Yeah, I think it was 44, 42 points.
Unbelievable. I can't believe Pittsburgh scored that many points. But the Bengals defense, what a dumpster fire. Oh my gosh. That defense is so bad. Because it's not like the Steelers' offense, is great, right? What are your thoughts on Russell Wilson?
He's pretty good. He can move the team. And I think the Steelers' D is pretty good. And with the Browns, that's a big rival game. That's been a rival game for years.
Yeah, and then Jameis Winston threw for almost 500 yards against a very good Broncos defense, right, last night. But the Browns are on a short week. Not great when you're going to Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah. That's in the weather, it's going to be windy.
Yeah.
Windy. Thursday's supposed to be windy, super windy.
Yeah, so this is a 10 o'clock game on Sunday. The whole weekend is looking gusty with wind all over the Pittsburgh area. So maybe Jameis Winston won't be able to pass as well because if it's a run game, Nick Chubb hasn't looked the same after that big injury, right? So I'm going to Pittsburgh Steelers at home. I'm going to go 24-23 in a pretty close game. All right, NFL fans, our next game on this slate is another game. It might as well be me and you out there playing, man. The Jaguars and the Titans. Oh, my gosh.
But, the Jaguars have lost a lot of games within one score.
Yeah, I agree with that. But now it doesn't look like Trevor Lawrence is going to play after he took that horrible cheap shot from Azeez Al-Shahir from the Texans. That was one of the grossest hits I've ever seen, man.
That was brutal.
It was awful, man. And he hit him with that, forearm. And he just bashed him right in the head, just unprotected. He got suspended for 3 games, guys. So I think it's a pretty good suspension. You know what I mean? If it was either that or the rest of the year, he's been,
Well, 3 games. He's it's 4 games left.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. So Shahir suspended for the Trevor Lawrence hit. Who wins this game? The Titans. I thought they were going to play the Commanders a little bit closer last week, but man, was I wrong on that one. That was probably the worst play I had all year, where the Titans the last 3 weeks, Will Levis was completing around 70% of his passes, Dad, and they got the brakes blown off them by the Commanders. It was What do you think? Did you think the Titans were going to be close last week, or do you think the Commanders were just going to shit?
Oh, I thought the Commanders were just going to run all over them like they did.
Yeah, they dominated, man. I was off on that one, man.
That was it's a do or die for Washington. They got to be playing on their top.
Yeah, they're not going to get that wild card spot because it looks like the Eagles are going to win the division, right? So the Commanders got to keep up with the Packers and the Vikings, right? So you got to. He's 100% right. I should have probably, laid off some juice on the Titans, even though they were playing better. And the Commanders were playing some tough teams and didn't look so good, right? So I was off on that one. But I like the Titans' defense in this spot, considering the Jaguars are probably going to have to start Mac Jones, and he sucks. And you might as well be playing quarterback because Mac Jones is so bad at football. I'm going to go with the Titans in this spot. I think it's going to be another close game. I'm saying 2017.
The Jaguars were playing good, but they just can't get over that hump.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with the Jaguars this time.
All right, we're going against each other in this spot, guys. Now we're gonna move on to the 1 o'clock slate. All right, Seahawks at the Arizona Cardinals. This was a very, very competitive game a few weeks ago. Seahawks have won 3 in a row. Arizona played pretty good last week. They ultimately ended up losing that game, but they played really, really tough, man. So I'm looking at what they were doing over the last couple weeks, guys. I don't know, man. I'm not sure who wins this game. They played Minnesota really tough, though. They played them really tough. They're a pretty well-coached team. They're playing at home. Seattle, it's always tough playing in Seattle. I feel like Arizona's like due for a win, man. I really do. So I like Arizona in this spot. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm going to go against the Tide again. I like the Seahawks.
They've been playing pretty good lately.
They're playing pretty good, and they need some wins.
Because that division is wide open. It looks like whoever wins this game
could win the division.
Right? Because the 49ers are toast. Christian McCaffrey's done for the year. It looks like Jordan Mason's going to be done for the year. The 49ers might be picking in the top 10, top 15 when it's all said and done, man. They look not good. So I'm going to go Arizona Cardinals to win this game at home. Close game. I'm going to say 24-20. Arizona Cardinals get it done. Tom Bird's going with the Seahawks, so we'll see how the dust settles at the end of this week. We'll see who wins. All right, guys.
We'll be fighting that out.
All right, guys. The next game we're going to talk about is Buffalo Bills at the Rams. Bills had that big win over San Francisco in the Snow Bowl. That little pitch from Amari Cooper to Josh Allen, and he dove for the touchdown. That was freaking awesome. Tom Bird and I love watching the snow games. We're snow hounds, man. We love the snow. I got to go with the Bills. The Rams just haven't looked great. That secondary looks like shit. And the offensive line hasn't looked great either, man. I'm going with the Bills, and I think they might win pretty handily. I'm going 30-17 Buffalo.
I agree. It's going to be up there. I think Buffalo wins it about 33-22.
Something like that, yeah.
And something off the wall.
I think Keon Coleman should be back for this game, that young rookie wide receiver. And with Khalil Shakir, with him playing, Keon Coleman, Amari Cooper, James Cook, that offense, once they get healthy, man, they're going to be rolling. And I think the Rams get blown out at home. All right, next up, we got the Bears at the 49ers. I'm going with the Bears, plus 3.5. No Christian McCaffrey, no Jordan Mason. The Bears' offense has looked okay, since Shane Waldron got fired. I'm going with the Bears.
Yeah,
and the points, man.
The Bears seem to be playing a lot better. The play calling is a lot better. And I got to go with the Bears, too.
The 49ers are just so banged up. I think it'll be a close-ish game. I'm going, let's say, 23-13. The Bears get a road victory. And we got 2 games left, guys. Chargers at the Chiefs. The Chiefs have been winning games by the skin of that teeth. The skin of their teeth.
They're just barely squeezing by.
All right.
They're like a slippery banana.
I know. They're just whoop, whoop, whoop. I think there's like someone up there in the universe just being like, you're going to miss this kick. You're not going to catch this snap. And the Chiefs just keep winning. It doesn't make any sense. But I'm taking the Chargers. I think the Chargers win. I'm saying 26-23. The Chargers get a W here. On a late field goal.
I feel the same way. The Chargers win it.
Defenses have been playing pretty good. We've got to check. Ladd McConkey came out of that game, it says, at the end with a knee injury. So if Ladd McConkey's out, I'll probably go with the Chiefs. Justin Herbert needs Ladd McConkey. He's been relying on him a lot this year. But we're going to both go with the Chargers here. And then Monday Night Football. The bum Bengals versus the Dallas Cowgirls. Man, that Bengals defense is so bad. Russell Wilson and that mediocre Steelers offense scored 40 points on the Bengals. I don't know if they had to stop the whole damn game.
Well, they can put a lot of points up, but they can't stop nobody.
I know, Joe Burrow has been amazing, man. The Cowboys' defense has looked a little bit better over the last couple weeks, but can they score points versus the Bengals? It's going to be a close game. I think it's a shootout. I'm going 28-27. Bengals. 28-27 Bengals. What do you think?
I think the Bengals win it by about 3 or 4.
Yeah, maybe like 31-28, 28. I think the Cowboys score some points though. So Week 14, that's our picks with scores. Thank you, Tom Burt, hanging out.
Good seeing you.
All right, guys.
Great holiday.
Make sure you like and subscribe, right?
Absolutely.
We just crossed 12,000 subscribers, guys. Thank you so much for all the support. Now I could pay for his old man care for the nurses to come change his diapers.
Yeah.
All right, see you guys later. Peace.
Have a great holiday.